Welcome back, people. We are here with another episode at the Bettor's Edge, guys. We have a Thursday night thriller on the gridiron. Yes, that's sarcasm. It's the New York Jets on the road in an intra-division battle against the New England Patriots in Foxborough. Guys, like the video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks to each and every single one of you guys for watching my videos. Let's talk about this matchup that we have here tonight, guys. It's a snooze fest on paper, guys. There's not a ton to get excited about with this game. If you don't got a ton of money on this game, or if you're not a diehard fan of the Patriots, I would say a diehard fan of the Jets, but I'm not even sure how many of those guys are tuning in this late in the season. There's not a ton here to write home about. From a matchup and stylistic perspective, let's break these two teams down. You have the New York Jets getting 13.5 points. Let's talk about the spread first and foremost. We talk numbers here a lot, guys. Patriots laying 13.5 points in this spot is a ton of points. You can't look from the outside in and really expect or have desire, if you will, to think that laying 13.5 points on the Patriots in this spot could have a ton of value. I understand the Jets are poor. I understand how good the New England Patriots are playing. But realistically speaking, in the NFL, a home favorite, intra-division, how many points do you really expect to be laying? I'm not sitting here saying the Patriots aren't going to cover the number, but you have to look at some kind of advantage. There's not a ton of advantage laying 13.5 points here on the Patriots. This New York Jets team is coming off the back of back-to-back wins. They had a crazy comeback win against the Bengals a couple weeks ago, and then last Sunday, they had an impressive performance at home against the Cleveland Browns to give them 2 straight victories. But this Jets team, guys, doesn't do a ton well. They like to run the ball. We know the Jets' MO. They're a top 5 rush attack in the entire NFL. They're a top 10 team as it pertains to rush attempts in the NFL. And they don't throw the ball very well. So when you're looking at this matchup stylistically, you're looking at a Jets team that likes to run the ball, that doesn't throw it very well, going up against a team in the New England Patriots who's taken the MO and the identity of their head coach. We know who Mike Vrabel is. As a player, we know who he was. As a previous head coach in Tennessee, we know what types of teams that he has. And now in New England, he's repeating that exact same identity. What does this team do well? They are elite at stopping the run. We just talked about what this Jets team likes to do. They like to run the ball. And not only do they run the ball a lot as far as attempts, but they're top 5, as I mentioned, in yardage. But this New England Patriots defense is the best defense against the ground attack in the entire NFL. And it even improves when they're at home. So this Jets team is not going to have a ton of success on the ground. This Patriots defense is stout from top to bottom. There is a way to beat them. They do give up some yards through the air, but we know this Jets team, especially with Garrett Wilson most likely not being available, doesn't have a ton of weapons on the outside. They're not a team, the Jets that is, that's going to be able to beat you through the air. So when you're looking at this matchup and you're breaking this thing down, we saw a similar game just a week ago on Thursday. Intra-division as well. This is in the AFC East. Last Thursday was in the AFC West. We saw a Vegas Raiders team, a very poor Vegas Raiders team, put in a respectable performance on a short week against a not as heavy favorite, but against a heavy favorite in the Denver Broncos on the road. And that game finished 10-6. Sneak peek into my preview. My pick preview, that is. So when you're looking at a side here, guys, as I mentioned, if you're considering taking the Patriots, from a stylistic perspective, it makes sense. Where the weaknesses on the Patriots is defensively through the air. If you want to call it a weakness, that's where they're weaker between the ground and the air. Where the Jets' strength is on the ground, that's where the Patriots' strength is. And the Jets won't be able to beat them through the air. However, when you're dissecting the actual numbers of the game, guys, in my opinion, laying 13.5 points in this spot is just too much. We talk about Thursday night each and every single week. The lack of preparation, teams really struggle. And more often than not, when teams struggle, it's on the offensive side of the ball. We just saw it last week, 10-6 final score with the Denver Broncos and the Vegas Raiders. You're going to need this New England Patriots team to put up some points, obviously speaking, if you want to cover 13.5. I just don't think there's an edge on the side, on either side here, guys. I'm not sitting here saying take the Jets. If you're forcing me to make a pick, I probably lean towards the Patriots. I just think laying close to 2 touchdowns, basically 2 touchdowns, is too much in this spot, given the rest of the circumstances. With that said, guys, let's talk a little bit about the Patriots. What the Patriots do is they also run the ball. This is a top 6 or 7 team, if I'm not mistaken, in time of possession. They're a top 10 team in rush attempts per game. The problem that the Patriots are going to face tonight is they're missing a number of their running backs. This Jets defense isn't great at stopping the run. They're the antithesis of the Patriots. They're better slightly, if you will, because this defense isn't very good, and obviously they've lost some key pieces in the last couple of weeks. They're better through the air at limiting huge plays versus on the ground. So for the Patriots to move the ball on the ground, they're probably going to have to be relying on Travion Henderson. And he's off to a decent start in his rookie season. He had a huge week last week. He's definitely capable. He's a fast, explosive player of big plays. I just don't know if the Patriots are going to be able to beat them consistently on the ground with a workhorse type back if they had maybe a player like Ramondre Stevenson, who's probably not going to be playing today. So I think what you're going to see from the Patriots is they're going to continue to rely on the ground game. They're going to continue to hand the ball off. They're going to be able to have some explosive plays against the Jets. I'm just not sure that they're going to have consistent success on the ground. We know how good of a player Drake May is right now, moving into their pass attack. If he's not the MVP top choice right now, he's probably number 2 right behind Matt Stafford. He's having an incredible second campaign this season. This New England Patriots team is a huge surprise, maybe the biggest surprise in all of the NFL, sitting here at 8-2 going into this week. The Patriots, with Drake May, like the big play. I think he's second in the NFL, or maybe even first in the NFL in yards per attempt. He likes to throw the ball downfield. When he's not pressured, he's able to get the ball downfield. I expect this passing attack to be successful, probably more successful than the ground game this evening. But in my opinion, when I'm breaking this game down, I see 2 teams stylistically that like to run the ball. They like to control the game. They like to control the clock. It's going to be a lot easier for the Patriots to put a stranglehold on this game. And when I'm sitting here looking at the total at 43.5, there's just not many game states that I can envision that get this total above 44 points, 44 plus points. If you're thinking about taking the over, realistically speaking, you're probably going to need a minimum of 30 points from the Patriots tonight. So if you're considering taking the over, and I know I just said this, but this is just a point that I want to make. If you're considering taking the over, I would probably tell you you're better off taking the Patriots. Because if this game is going to go over, the Patriots are going to have to put up a ton of points. So my point in saying that is, I don't see this game going over unless the Patriots reach 30. because the Jets aren't putting up 17 tonight. And 14-28, 14-29 doesn't put this game over. The total, as I mentioned, is sitting at 43.5. The best bet on the board, guys, when I'm looking at stylistically, when I'm looking at the numbers that are available, is the under 43.5. I don't see the Jets getting above 14 points tonight. I don't see the Patriots reaching 30 points tonight. It's the reason why I said I'm staying away from the Patriots. It's the reason why I said if you want to take the over, which I don't like, you're better off taking the Patriots instead. But the best bet on the entire card tonight, especially on this NFL slate, is the under 43.5. This has a look very similar to what we saw last week. It's going to be an ugly intra-division style type of a game. It's going to be a low-scoring affair. I do think the Jets' defense are going to keep this game respectable. This isn't going to be a 35-10 type of game. I think we're looking at a game here that's going to end somewhere in the neighborhood of 23-24 for the Patriots, 10-13 points for the New York Jets. I think the under hits. I think it cashes relatively easily. And if there's a side here, if there's a winner here on the total that's going to cash easy, it's definitely not going to be over. There's no way that this game is going to go into the 50s. This isn't a game that we talked about last weekend with the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns, where you're looking at a total of 37.5, and midway through the first quarter, we're sitting, easy at 21 points already scored. That's not what's going to happen tonight, guys. If you're looking for a pick for tonight's game that has an opportunity to cash easily between all four bets that are available, side and total, the under is absolutely the right play. That doesn't necessarily mean that the under is going to cash easily for sure. It doesn't even mean that the under is going to cash. There are opportunities and ways, especially through the back door, a late Jets touchdown in a blowout type of game, where if the Patriots put up more points than I'm anticipating, of course, the under can lose. I'm not sitting here pretending as if it's an unbeatable type of pick. It's not. But when we're looking at this game, stylistically, the way these two teams match up, taking into consideration, it's a short week. Both teams have very little time to prepare. It's an intra-division matchup. These teams know each other very well. I think the best bet on the board, based on my calculations, is the under 43.5, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, take the under, put the ticket in. You might not even want to watch the game because it's going to be a snooze fest. It's going to be a 23-10 type of game, maybe even less points than that, in my opinion. Take the under, cash it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for more winners.